I overheard my wife telling her friend that she doesn't love me and never has. She married me because she was pregnant and thought she might grow to love me after the baby was born, but that never happened. After her friend left, I confronted her, and we had an emotional discussion. She didn't deny it and told me that this is indeed how she feels. I asked her why she married me. She said she preferred marrying a man she didn't love, but who respected and took care of her and our child, rather than marrying someone she loved who might be foolish, incompetent, or lazy. I was shocked and hurt. When I asked her what she thought about our marriage, she said it's exactly what she wanted, a stable partnership with mutual respect. She assured me that she never cheated and always respected me and our marriage, and loves our children. Her honesty moved me. I told her I needed time to think, and she said I could take as long as I needed. She promised not to leave and would accept and cooperate with any decision I made. I am devastated and confused, realizing I've been living with a woman who doesn't love me, and married me because I was the best option at the time. She is a good wife and mother, and I have no doubts about her. She has never cheated or hurt me in any way, works hard, is always honest, and is a great role model for our children. I'm considering solutions like marriage counseling, but our marriage is unequal in terms of love. I love her wholeheartedly, and she knows this. I'm not sure if counseling can change her feelings. I don't want a divorce because I love our marriage, and it is a good one. Our children have parents who genuinely care about them. We are good role models. In summary, our marriage is full of love and respect from my side, while hers is based entirely on respect. We've been married for 12 years and known each other for 15. We started as friends, then friends with benefits, and over time it evolved into what it is now. I'm her only friend with benefits, and she has many friends but no other such relationship. Her previous boyfriend treated her poorly, which might have influenced her. I'm not here to judge, and I think therapy might be a good idea. I saw a post similar to my situation from a wife's perspective, where she realized her definition of love was rigid and she did love her husband in her own way. If she could better express her thoughts and feelings about me, it would help. I'm willing to have such a conversation. How should I approach this issue? Should I directly suggest marriage counseling, or would individual therapy be more helpful for her? Sorry, this post is a bit long. I'll try to provide more background quickly and cover important details. I reviewed many comments on the first post and wrote down some questions to ask my wife. Before mentioning marriage counseling, I want to have multiple conversations to see if we can find common ground or resolve the issues ourselves. As I mentioned in the comments, I'm considering a short weekend trip for just the two of us, without the kids, to relax and have a heart-to-heart conversation. I decided to take her to my grandparents' house, a secluded place surrounded by fields, forests, and a river. It's like a vacation home, a good place to escape the city and enjoy nature. She loves nature, and I thought it would be a nice spot. If I tell you I'm not anxious or worried about asking certain questions and their possible outcomes, I'd be lying. We left the kids with my parents and set off. She knew the purpose of this trip from the start, which made it somewhat easier. Once we arrived, I didn't want to jump into the discussion immediately. I wanted us to spend some time together first. We walked in the forest, did some light gardening, took pictures, I cooked dinner for her, and made a bouquet of wildflowers. After dinner, I brought up the topic. I told her that what she said a few days ago really hurt me and that I wanted her to tell me how she feels about me and our marriage so we could at least find a middle ground. I also told her I didn't like her telling someone else about these things before talking to me. She apologized and said she would explain. Her friend was having problems in her own marriage and wanted to know why ours was so stable. Her friend and her husband have a dynamic of fighting and making up, while my wife and I never fight. We have many disagreements but never hurt each other, at least not until now. She finally addressed the key part of the issue and asked if I heard anything else she said. I said no because I really didn't. I went inside to get something I needed and then left. I also zoned out and didn't pay attention to what was happening around me. After hearing all this, she explained that she never felt romantic love for me, hoping it would improve over time, but it never did. I asked why she didn't explain it that day. She said I was very emotional, and anything she said could have made things worse. She knew whatever she said would be seen as either comfort or compulsion, so she chose to let me cool off alone, knowing we would talk. She was right. Children grow up. Did she ever feel that loved towards somebody else, but all she do if something happens to me? She said that she feels at home though she does love me, loves our marriage, but she isn't in love with me. When she sees me there are no butterflies or fly that make her want to jump on me or rip my clothes off. She feels at home. As for our children growing up, nothing changes. Who was so careful, help and guide them. She explained that over the years she felt attraction toward certain men but quickly faded. When I asked her why, she said that even though she was initially attracted to them and they showed interest during, always felt off soon afterwards, which is why she removed us herself from those situations. I asked her if she was never into me, why she slept with me and not with her other friends or other guys. Get plenty of friends, and as I mentioned in my first post, I was the only one with benefits. Gets plenty. That she felt safe and comfortable with me. I mean, she never felt with anyone else. We became a thing after she broke up with a boyfriend too and did up about the relationship then, that he had been physically and emotionally abusive. This was the first time she spoken about him. I'd asked her about a first relationship many times before, but she always brushed it all, saying he wasn't worth mentioning due to how horribly he treated her. She said she wouldn't want to be anywhere else but next to me, that she would take care of our children. At that point, I felt really bad about everything, and the whole discussion made me sad. Really like her to go to therapy. I think she still carries scars from all the abuse, especially emotionally. The proper therapist could really help her, and for those telling me to leave, I won't if she leaves in 10 or 15 years, so be it. I'd rather have a stable, safe and drama-free marriage area where I can raise my children properly, even if she doesn't love me the same extent I love her, and spend years in my life searching for a woman who will love me to the same extent. I'm almost 40. I'm too old to deal with all the drama that comes with dating. He also have sex at least twice a week. Sometimes even more so. Our intimacy is active, and she actively participate. I comment to ask so peace and what I'm getting and of this is that he does love you completely, but doesn't that it's real love. She may have been used to the kind of dramatic, tumultuous partner who abuses her and then love bombs her, and I've come to know that as lovers she has chosen every day to be a loving partner and a good parent. Even when presented with alternatives, a sense of love is screwed up, but her actions speak louder to me. Definitely try to get her into therapy. I'm sorry for the way she thinks about this and must be killing you. I don't think it's true. She does love you. Hope I'm right and that you can come to an agreement. Wish you both the best. He says I felt the same, and that is why I think it will be really beneficial for her. Have a talk with a therapist. I'll always be there for her. I will always listen to what she had to say, but I lack knowledge and experience in order to help her with this. The thing that's killing me is how long she's been in the state she can't thought I her feelings and emotions. Even during our talk, I always felt that her feelings are misplaced and all over the place. I'll talk to her, and I will encourage and support her in getting professional help. And one more comment which says, as someone whose first relationship was abusive, a feeling safe with you is 100% love. Everything you described as saying is what I feel without my husband. I don't feel butterflies, never did, and that for me that is a good thing, because butterflies are just anxiety. I could not picture my life without my husband. He's my person. I'm happy with him. I don't want to be with anyone else. That is love. It just isn't the type of love we see in movies. Well, that we feel, but in the twististic clutches of an abuser. That's a good thing, as is a love that stands the test of time, and I'm glad that they're sort working for it. And then there's last couple of comments there really brought it home for me, and you know, I did feel that way through a lot of the story, that but she get what love is, and then it came to the abuse part, and it's sort of like things that are clicking into place really, but I really do hope that she does seek some therapy for her past drama, and I really do wish them And the best, but what do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your fourth down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story now. Our next story comes from Confused 2024 from the Am I There As or Here subit that says, Am I there? I'll hear my husband want to a divorce and wants us to keep the house. My husband 32 and I 30 had been married for 10 years. Recently he told me that he wanted a divorce because he wasn't happy. He came to the conclusion that he never really wanted to be married and wants the focus on his military career. I've always supported his career. Asked him for couple of therapy because of all of the problems he said we had with things that could be fixed, but he refuses. Said our marriage can't be fixed. Have no choice but to let him go. However, he believes that him and I can still live in our house and live our separate lives. He's already dating a girl from work. Cannot do this. When I told him that I wasn't comfortable with him dating, yet it causes me of wanting to prevent him from moving on. I made it clear that if he wishes to date he can do so, but I will not sit here and watch him do it because it kills me. I told him that I need to get away from him so that I can hear, or I refuse to live in the house while he goes off and starts a whole new life while somehow maintaining his old one. I told him I want to sell the house and he's accusing me of trying to ruin him financially, especially because of our mortgage is so low. I'm currently half a year away from my bachelor's degree that would allow me to find a steady job, as a job that I currently have now has not pay enough for me to live on my own. However, have a large forces and that is willing to help me to basically what I'm asking is by the aisle here for wanting to move on with my life. If it means that I have to force him to sell a house, trying to work out the logic from him here. So he want to do divorce so he can focus on his military career, but then gets in another relationship. This is screaming that this relationship has been going on for a lot longer than you know about. Doubling up with when you offered couple therapy was absolutely no Adam, and that your marriage can't be fixed. It says that he's moving on to this other person and then he wants to maintain this relationship of staying in the same house together while he's moving on right in front of your eyes, or you don't want to see that shitler live your life. Find in someone that you deserve hope. He said it says our marriage hasn't been great for a while and I knew this, so the last 6 months I've been trying to fix things. However, Ever has told me he wanted this divorce months ago and was building up the courage to us for the divorce. I know that what he's asking for is delusional. I guess I feel bad because he gave me a portion of his bill, my schooling, which he's now threatening to take away. That's no big deal because again I have a good self-worth system. I'm graduating with a science degree and in my area I know I can find a good job with it. He just assumed that since we always go along well I would go along with his plan. Why would you assume that? It's just like such a weird as thing to assume. Oh, I want a divorce from you, but I'm sure you'd be fine still living with me and I'll find another partner and stuff and we can just live like we was. Well, kind of delusion is that. But in the comments someone says, so he's in the military and cheating on you with someone from the office who may also be military, yet yourself a lawyer familiar with military law. If she is military, they both could be in a large amount of trouble. He may not have a military career to worry about and check into his retirement. Your share is determined by how long you were married while he was in service. Don't sign away any of this, including the home. Yet what is due to you? P says he started hanging out with a large group of friends from his unit along with her in that group. I guess it just turned into something. If it did so be I'll survived without him, but I did find out some of his friends basically playing wingmen FA and that they have an idea that they're a thing. I also know that if his higher UPS find out that he's dating one of the girls in his unit they will not be happy. A commenter says, not the also, but why you even asking this question? Are you being so dumb nice him about everything? Are you feeling bad? Was the abusive? Is that what you still think you need to please him by going along with what he thinks? Or he was cheating? Obviously find the lawyer ASAP and then no circumstances we to leave the marital home, but any reason, not even for a weekend, to clear your head. Do not leave. Oppie says you are right. I've always been a very logical thinker, but kind of pulled the rug from under me now. A dust settled. I can see that he's completely illusional. Another comer says have been trying to fix things and then says, could you elaborate? Oppie says we are both pretty busy people, him with the military and I go to school full time and I worked part-time. As a result we kind of drifted apart the past 6 months. I've been trying to spend more time with him and take up more of his interests, but it was already too late for him. Then the comer says not the answer, but I do Have a question. If you have a good support system, as you say, why would you ask Reddit as this question and not the people around you? I'm just curious and mean no offense. Hope he says, mostly because I wanted an unbiased opinion. My support system would do anything for me. I'm grateful to have them, but they are currently seeing red as I didn't like to make big decisions based off of emotion, but logically selling this house and getting my fair share is the only option. One of those comments made it sound like you're getting a lot of trouble because of the whole dating thing. I imagine dating people within the same unit could get yourself in a lot of trouble, but is there additional trouble for the cheating itself in a marriage that play a part in the military? I really don't know. I'm throwing that question out there. Roppy comes in with her up there. So this is a small update for my last post. Thank you to mostly everyone for being so kind, but contact with a lawyer and all of my bases are covered there. I told him I was not budging, and that a house was going to be sold or he can buy me out. His gry the sell. Interesting part is that the girl he has been seeing was under the impression that I was okay with their arrangement. He basically told her that we were separated but still living together. She now knows the truth and does not want to see him. He made up and compared text messages and stories. He's been lying to her. Why he thought I couldn't easily just search her up and get in contact with her is beyond me. Glad of feeling he was lying to her when it was explained to him that what he did was completely wrong. Is now remorseful and apologetic for hurting me. I didn't believe him either way. This divorce is going to happen and good luck at the next girl that deals with him. I've started therapy to help me adjust, but I know I'm going to be okay, and honestly, I don't want to be with someone who wearing to hurt me like that and is often now. Says to Op-P, are you going to alert the military? Op-P says, I decided not to simply because I'm not looking to harm anybody. If I did it would harm her. It's never a good idea to have a relationship with your coworkers, but she isn't that fault for my husband's shitty behavior. And a commenter says you had to explain to him what he did was wrong. Was he raised by wolves? He says I did a borderline thesis to get to see it. Wow, now I'm not sure how true this is, if it's in the SS or where this is. I just Google about extramarital sexual conduct sort thing, and the military laws, I guess it says the maximum punishment for adultery or extramarital sexual conduct is a dishonorable discharge, poverty of all pain allowances, and confinement, or up to 1 year. So that dude is incredibly lucky she isn't going down that path. Holy moly, what a card to play as she wanted to. And that last comment there where it said you had to explain to him what he did was wrong, and then she saw I said yeah, I had to. It kind of just made me feel like he's playing dumb. So she doesn't report of like, oh sir, I really didn't know, I'm so sorry. He must know the consequences of his actions here. There's no way you can say I didn't know that shooting was wrong, but fair play to Op-P getting themselves out of that situation, taking what's rightfully theirs in it and just moving on with their life. Fair play to him, but of course I'm sorry that they had to go through that absolute shit show to begin with. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart. Truly, I really do appreciate you close so much for taking a time at your day to be here, getting involved in the channel, joining your love not just towards me but towards other members of the channel. Was the stories as well's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, and I'll see you bloody cheeky so and so in the next one. Take yeah, I much love. Yeah, may not remember being so naive when life was good weather, palm trees back in the day. You were everything I need, but then along came my time when you crushed my dreams. Oh yeah, you play me like a fool when you maybe that the lie between love wasn't real. Yeah, you see we and spare crime everywhere. You selling false hope cause you just don't care nah. You just don't care nah, you just don't care, you just don't.